Hey guys, welcome back to AI Pro Plus. It's that special time of that season where we kind of recap everything and we are enjoying the season review. It's another day, it's another guest, another one with a lot of opinions, a familiar voice and face on Anfield Index, hosting the Gags Tandon show. Very original name, but he thinks so. He's awesome. I love
Stole it
watching.
off someone else.
I know. Replaced within a second, but Gags, you've been doing it this season. What a season to start.
I know, it's been amazing. It's a dream start to YouTubing and everything. I think everything just all happened in one go and winning the title. It's been a dream year, should we say? I think that, from last June to now, I think we just announced, I think a couple of days ago, with the anniversary of announcing Slot. So I remember at the time all of us going, what? Slot, what? And
Slot what?
yeah,
I'm gonna push you back a year.
yeah.
We saw that emotional farewell by Jurgen Klopp, didn't we? And we didn't know quite what to expect. And then he kind of announced Arne Slot with the chant. And this guy was coming in. We didn't really have much of a transfer window. We have to kind of take everything into consideration. Zuberman slipped through the fingers. It felt very, I was anxious to say the least. But how did you feel? And how surprised are you that here he is, sat crown champion?
I think it's one of the biggest stories, in our history, really. For I guess when everybody is right, he did take over a great squad, but the squad wasn't winning titles. From if we look at what happened last season, the season before now, because last season, the season before with Klopp, we weren't managing it well, and the players were getting injured really, really quickly, or at least towards that end of the season. So. Yeah, I think there was that worry that if you don't add to this squad, you're not really going to win things. And then he didn't get to add to his squad apart from Chiesa, who's got the best song ever now. And then all of a sudden, you think, right, we're just going to go for top four, and the expectations were really on the floor. So he had a lot of space. He didn't have a lot on the line. Everybody was kind of like writing off the season anyway. And then when he goes and does what he does, it's amazing. Big surprise. I mean, when you get to, we'll probably cover it in a bit, but yeah, as the season went on, it just became a dream, I think.
It did, absolutely. And I think we're all quite universal in our, like just how shocked we were, how, things happened. You spoke about the players there and not adding to the squad, obviously, and obviously using the core set of like Jurgen Klopp players because there was no transfer window. So, in your opinion, Gags, who really shone bright for you this season? Who was the man? Who impressed you the most, and why?
I mean, it's got to be Mo Salah, right? There's saying anyone else's name would be disrespectful to Mo. I think he just nailed. I think that's his best season for us. In terms of goals and goal involvements, goals and assists. I think he's broken the record. So, yeah, I couldn't go past anyone apart from Mo. I think he was one of the people when you talked about last season and you watched videos of other fans talking about him. They were saying he's going down. He's on the decline. He's the reason why Liverpool won't win the league is because Mo Salah's declining. We should have sold him last year. A lot of us were saying, hey, if we get 100 million, maybe we should sell and buy some players. How wrong was everybody that said that, and how he went and got his hair transplant. He went and he just looked like 10 years younger or something this season when he came in, and he killed it. He absolutely just smashed the league to bits, especially in that first 8 months and not so much in the last month.
Yeah. I think as well, you spoke about rival fans last season. Like he's always been disrespected, but I feel like this season was the season where even rival fans was like, he's world class. Like this is a season where they kind of acknowledged it as well, which we already knew, but they finally, kind of got rid of their ignorance, should we say. So, Gags, you spoke about Slot, you spoke about your favourite player. Now, what was your favourite moment of the season? It can be anything.
Okay, favorite moment right now, and obviously
Yeah.
it changed as the year went on, is everyone singing the Chiesa song was after we won the league, and then the players bouncing with the fans with it, and Chiesa in the middle holding the cup. And I just thought it was such a beautiful little moment for him. I mean, he didn't contribute very much, but the fact that the fans treated him like this, the players were happy for him to give him that, moment as well in front of the fans. Someone like Dom Szoboszlai was actually bouncing, and he doesn't even have a song himself, and he's
Yeah.
played a massive part, right? But you just see that a player like that would just be like, no, it's fine. Let's just go on with it. This is hilarious. This is amazing. And yet it was such a beautiful moment. I keep watching it back. I keep singing the song. I think it's probably because it's fresh and I was there too, watching it from afar and then watching it, coming home and watching it on YouTube and on the TV and on Sky or whatever. It's just amazing to see it all come together. So that's probably my favorite moment right now. I think the Mo goal against Brighton is a big one, just because coming back in 2 minutes to win against, when it looked like, and to be honest, every game had something on it until we got to like Jan, like into everything. I mean, every game had something on it no matter what because we wanted to stay ahead. But at that point, we were just vying to go, back and forth with City. I think around then, so Arsenal didn't weren't top all season.
We like that. We like that. I love your moment as well about Chiesa. I mean, this is how random I am, Gags. Listeners, my show's already out. My favourite moment of the season was Arne Slot's first picture. You know when he's arching his back and
Oh my
holding.
God, that's such a classic.
And when that used to make rounds on Twitter, like how did we question this man's aura? Like that was literally my favourite moment of the season because
Like,
it
if you
always
just go back, when we saw that, I remember it saying in Discord, this is gonna bite us in the ass so badly, this picture. This picture, if he does badly, this is gonna be a joke. In the end, the picture's gone in legend. It's gone down in legend now. He's like, everyone's like, how did we question this man? Like from day one, that pose, he's just basically stamped statement. I'll do what the hell I want with this league.
to me, he stood like a girl on Instagram. He posed like a girl on
Yeah.
Instagram in 2015, and that's why I found it absolutely hilarious. Because as a woman, we've all been guilty to that pose, and I was like, "What on earth is he doing?" But yeah, aura defined. Gags, good moment there. We like the Chiesa one. I think a lot of people are shouting that one out as well. I want to get your thoughts on, like you said, every match was important this season and something was riding on it. For you, which match symbolized or signaled that this is a title winning side? Like not that they're going to win it. That's the next. You can answer that one as well. The two questions are kind of interlinked. Well, not essentially. One is, when did you think, oh gosh, this, like that game, when I look back, that game defined a champion's performance? And then the second question is, when did you start believing?
Okay, so the one that defined it was, I thought, City away when we beat them in Feb.
Yes.
It was such a tough week where there was a chance that if we dropped any points, Arsenal could get really close or get closer. And there was games in hands going on and things like that happening where they could get close and it just would put extra pressure on us. But I think they'd either drop points or something like that.
They lost to West Ham. It's one of my moments. They lost to West Ham.
So in fact, losing to West Ham was literally like, wow, this is done. We're gonna be champions. And then going to City, because it was a freebie at City, right? But then going and doing that at City, just putting a mark and then relaxing, like we just scored 2 goals and chilled the whole game. Like it was just it's never been done before. I don't think we've ever seen it in the Premier League. I know Klopp's gone there and won his first game in the Premier League, but then he won in the Champions League as well. But it's been so long since that happened in the Premier League for us. It was just beautiful to see, and I think winning away at United was the start, and then winning at City was the stamp. But the real belief came, I think, when we were in Christmas time and we went back to back beating Spurs and West Ham 6-3, 5-0, something like that. I think it was around about the same time. But it just, and the away form was just incredible. And like normally our home form is better, but the away form was better at this point. So I think I started believing, and it was funny because we just started YouTubing at the time. It was only November we started, so it was in December. And I remember just saying, towards the end of those games, this is the month where we should invest in the squad, because we're never going to get a better chance than this to win this league title now, with City and Arsenal so far behind. We're never going to do. And I remember just saying, obviously players haven't signed contracts as well, so we were really like, shit, are players staying or going? So there was always that niggling thing in the back of your head, that is this going to disrupt us at any point? Is this going to happen? So going back to start, just to answer what he's achieved, managing a squad that had 3 players possibly leaving, not adding anyone to the squad, winning the title. But yeah, the belief came in, I think, December, and I remember saying, this is the chance. We got to invest, and we didn't, and we still won it. I was wrong.
Incredible. But yeah, I think a lot of people were quite anxious at that time as well. We were like, maybe on Christmas Day or New Year's they announced the contracts. I think we were all just like, they're planning something. We were just expecting. And I think we spoke on Desi as well, that we thought something might actually happen. So yeah, I think that's a good portion of the season to kind of highlight. And yeah, we completely forget that we were on a mad goal fest in that little December period as well. Lots of treats there. Gags, Slot, you spoke about, didn't have much of a transfer window period. He kind of trusted a core member of the team. He didn't really use his subs an awful lot. I think we can all say that. So in your opinion, who was like an unsung hero? Who doesn't maybe get the plaudits? Or maybe somebody that you feel like needs a special shout out?
I think Maka gets a lot of plaudits. I think Grab's got a lot of plaudits this year, won Young Player of the Year. I think it's Dom, really, for me. I think Dom doesn't get a lot of plaudits. I think everybody just calls out, hey, Mr. Pass, hey, not doing this. But I think if you go and have a look and look at all the numbers, and you go and listen to Under Pressure, that boy ran the midfield in terms of energy. And like, what was missing towards the end of last season when he got injured was exactly that. We were losing the midfield battles. And I know we were losing midfield battles from January onwards in terms of the running. We weren't running as much, but I think Klopp was managing us really well and just trying to keep it, okay, we need to save legs. We wanted to go in the Champions League. It didn't happen. But yeah, I think Dom Szoboszlai, everybody would like him to do more in front of goal and with assists, but 15 goals and assists, something like that, or 17, something between 15 and 17. I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but still not a bad, still not bad going for him, I think, in the season overall. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, I heard it somewhere. I need to check. But still, I think it was his energy that did it. And if he is going to move back with Wirtz coming in, and it's, Mac and Dom, or, Dom and Grav, or Grav and Mac, whichever way it works, or maybe Dom will go left wing sometimes, or Wirtz will go left and he'll go 10. Dom's a big fixture in this team. And I think, yeah, it'd be nice if we could get a song for him, but his name's so difficult that I think Liverpool fans are finding it hard to make a song that rhymes with Szoboszlai. So
yeah. I remember on X or Twitter. I refuse to call it X, Twitter. I remember somebody started a chant to, I want to dance with somebody, Whitney Houston, but with Szoboszlai. I remember that. I don't think it went viral.
You know what? We need to viral that one. That's a really good one. I don't know what the word would be, that we can't be dance with somebody.
I want to dance with Szoboszlai or something. It was just basically, that Saturday night thing.
No, I don't know what the next line would be.
Yeah. So I think that's a good shout, and you kind of highlighted Szoboszlai there. Let's not forget how incredible he was in that game against Spurs in that period. Oh God, he ran show. I completely agree. So Gags, you kind of teased some potential transfers in there about next season. So the next question to you is, how should Liverpool strengthen the squad this summer? Of course, we know Frimpong's coming in. Obviously, there's a lot of really, really good links at the moment. I think we're sat here flexing as Liverpool supporters because we're liking everything what we're getting, teasing, hearing. So so your thoughts on the transfer window? Where do you think we should spend the money?
So my dream window, would be, if it's possible. So Wirtz is coming in. A lot of people saying he's going to play 10. A lot of people saying he's going to go left. Let's say the people that are, writing about it, saying he's been sold the dream as a 10 is correct, rather than opinions. So Wirtz takes the 10. I would want So Kirk's to come in and Frimpong as well. I would want Julian Alvarez in. So if we sell Diaz soon, I want Alvarez in first if we can get him in, and then the left winger is really up for debate. When Darwin goes, who do we bring in as a left winger? A lot of people saying Anthony Gordon. Um, Rodrigo looks like he's staying in Madrid, but we need the homegrown quotient to grow as well. So I think Anthony Gordon would tick a few boxes there. That would be good. I want Wharton in as a midfielder. So if Elliot goes and Morton goes and Dope goes, I would want him in. CB's a bit difficult, you know. I don't know. We need a centre back as well. So if Kwanzaa goes, we need to find someone. I've not seen what kind of centre backs there are out there. But if Hincapi was available, it would be good. But I guess we've already covered left back though, and he plays left sided, so it's not going to be ideal. But yeah, we need a centre back in too. So there's a lot going on there. That would have been. So this is, I said this on a chat G&G about 2 months ago, and everyone said, "Don't be stupid," But now it's looking like we might just go and buy this many players. So it's what Frimpong, Kirkes, Wirtz, Alvarez, a left winger, a DM, and a centre back. Of 7 players, but there are 7 or 8 going out. So if you're filling up like for like squad spots, makes sense. And luckily, Frimpong's a homegrown. And if we get what's his name, Gordon in as well, 2 homegrowns would be great.
I love that. He's completely just ticked every box. So get him on the transfer
You said
committee.
the dream. I said that's the dream. That's the dream move. Those are the dream moves for the squad.
I'm not even, you have to build, but okay, guys. So with that transfer window and all your requests and your desires get fulfilled, you might miss a few, because we never get everything we want. But what are your expectations for next season? Can Liverpool win the league and the Champions League?
Wow. If we sign all those players, like the ones that I've just said, I think it's a real good chance that could happen because the squad is just way stronger than last year. If they continue to look after the squad, the players the way they did last year as well, then yeah, why not? I think we weren't far this year. The team that beat us knocked us out, won the Champions League in the end. That was really, really fine line with Trent going off injured. That really cost us that game in the end. If he'd stayed, if he didn't get injured there, I think we would have gone on to win that, and I think we'd have beaten Arsenal, and I think we'd have beaten Madrid as well. And yeah, well, actually, no, we didn't have to play Madrid. It would be Arsenal playing Madrid. We'd have to just beat Arsenal. So I think we'd have beaten Arsenal, and I think we would have.
I think it's Aston Villa, right? Aston
Oh,
Villa.
Villa. I think we would have got past Villa as well. Yeah, absolutely. It would have been some good English ties for us there. And yeah, we would have. I think we would have won it all this year if we'd got on. I think it would have driven us like the end of the season where we weren't in the league. I think going to the
final. I felt like a demotivated fan as well. As we won the league, what about like it was just like it was like a struggle train. It was just like I just want to see them lift it now.
I agree though. I agree with what they did though because the players had worked so hard for 8 months. They rarely get time off. Yeah. And I thought giving them holidays every week before Nations League and before all the internationals, where they're going to go full again, they would have had like a little pre-season here, and then off they go, and then they have a proper holiday again for another month, which is going to be really nice. So I think Liverpool players will actually have had plenty of rest in this last, 2 to 3 months before the season starts, which is really good for them and enjoyed themselves. Like I don't think I've seen a team celebrate a title win like this Liverpool team. Yeah,
I completely agree. Right, guys. So those are all your questions. I think you did a sterling job. I really enjoyed your answers, your response. Before I let you go and close this show off, I know there's no, Gags Tandon show because there's no games, but are we going to be expecting more of you during the transfer window? Have you got anything lined up?
I think there'll be. The listeners. Yeah, I think Chat G&G will be every week. I know we couldn't do it this week, but we're planning to do one later this week, hopefully on Friday. So yeah, I think Chat G&G will still be weekly all the way till the season starts, and then I'll be back on the Gags Tandon show, but I'll be doing I think weekends only from next year, the next season. So should be good.
Wonderful stuff. Right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It's been an absolute pleasure hosting Gags. We don't podcast much, so if I could get him on a pod, I'm going to take it all day, every day. I think all you guys love listening to him as well. We've got more guests lined up. This isn't the end. I'm not giving any spoilers. You're just going to have to tune in to the next episode. Myself and Guy are hosting some awesome people on Anfield Index. So watch this space and up the Reds.